Here's the English translation of the long passage you provided. Dear friends, today I want to begin with a very familiar question, one that makes many of us pause and reflect. After the age of 50, is health destined only to decline, or do we still have a chance to live strong and joyful lives? In more than 35 years of practicing medicine, I have met thousands of patients from the UK, the US, India, and Vietnam. They all carried the same fear that age was stealing away their strength, their flexibility, and even their confidence in their own bodies. Yet I have also witnessed countless others in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who remain vibrant and happy, still walking, practicing yoga, tending their gardens, and living life fully. What created that difference? The answer, my friends, is not written on the birth certificate. It lies in how we treat our bodies every single day. And in today's talk, I want to revisit the core foundations: nutrition, sleep, movement, mental peace, and community. I will share with you real patient stories laced with philosophy, simple science, and the sincerity I always carry in my heart. Think of the body as a garden. For a garden to flourish, it needs fertile soil, clean water, sunlight, and gentle care. Our body is no different. It needs proper nourishment, rest, movement, and inner peace. When these elements are balanced, age is no longer a verdict, but a beautiful journey. I remember one morning in London when a 68-year-old patient named Helen came to me. She said, "Doctor, I feel like my body is betraying me. I eat little but still gain weight. I sleep but remain tired. I try to exercise but my legs feel heavy." I smiled and told her, "Helen, your body is not betraying you. It is simply crying out, asking you to treat it more gently." And indeed, after just 3 months of changing her diet, less sugar, more vegetables, nuts, and fish, along with a morning walk and going to bed 1 hour earlier, Helen returned with a radiant smile. "Doctor, I feel like I'm back in my 50s again." Her story is not unique. It is proof that health is not a matter of luck, but the fruit of the small daily choices. One of the greatest enemies I have seen in patients worldwide is refined and fast food. From the UK to India, from America to Vietnam, the same images appear: pizza, French fries, white bread, sugary sodas. They fill the stomach but starve the cells. They offer sweetness for a moment but sow the seeds of long-term disease. I often tell my patients, your body is like a luxury car. If you keep filling it with dirty fuel and poor oil, don't expect it to run smoothly for another 20 or 30 years. Yet so often we are careless with ourselves, indulgent with our stomachs, and strict with everything else. Another often ignored factor is sleep. After 50, many complain of shallow rest, waking easily, or staying up late. But did you know? When you sleep after 11 p.m., your pancreas, liver, and heart are forced to work a night shift. The next day they are exhausted, just like laborers denied rest. Over time, that fatigue builds into diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. I recall a man in India, 55 years old, who called me, "Doctor, I've been on diabetes medication for 5 years, but my sugar is still high. What else can I do?" On closer questioning, I learned that he ate dinner at 11 p.m. and slept at 1 p.m. I asked him to change just one thing: eat before 8 p.m. and sleep before 10:30. 6 months later, he reported, "For the first time, my sugar levels are stable without increasing my medication." Sometimes the secret to health is not in pills, but in the biological clock. Beyond food and sleep, let us talk about the liver. The liver is like the body's chemical factory, filtering toxins, storing energy, and helping regulate sugar. But if your liver is fatty or overworked with alcohol and fried food, blood sugar cannot remain stable. A healthy liver is a quiet key to overall balance. One of my patients in the UK, George, 62, Once came with test results: fatty liver stage 2, high blood sugar, high cholesterol. He was worried and asked, "Will I have to live in fear for the rest of my life?" I said, "No, George. The liver has a miraculous ability to heal itself if you give it the chance." I guided him to cut down alcohol, eat more vegetables, and add turmeric and carrots to his meals. A year later, his liver showed major improvement, and his blood sugar had returned to normal. You see, the body is like an orchestra. When the liver, heart, pancreas, brain, and spirit play in harmony, life becomes a symphony. But if even one instrument goes off, whether poor sleep, unbalanced diet, or constant worry, the music turns chaotic. And speaking of the spirit, let me mention something vital: the power of community and companionship. Many studies confirm that patients with supportive families, friends, or community groups manage illness far better than those who face it. My dear friends, after talking about diet, sleep, movement, liver health, herbs, stress, and community, you may be wondering, so in the end, is health after 50 a game of chance? Or is it a journey we can actually take into our own hands? Let me share with you a belief that has guided me through decades of medical practice. Health is not luck. It is the result of the love you give your body every single day. I once met an elderly gentleman in the United States, 82 years old, who still rode his bicycle around the park every morning. When I asked him his secret, he smiled gently and said, "I don't live to count years. I live to enjoy each day. And to do that, I treat my body as my best friend." His words have stayed with me ever since. Have you ever thought about this? These very hands have served you faithfully for decades. These very legs have carried you through countless paths. And this very heart has beaten billions of times just to keep you alive. So why do we so often forget to say thank you to our body? Why do we so easily give it rushed meals, sleepless nights, and endless worry? Your body does not ask for perfection. It only asks for care. A glass of warm water instead of a soda, a banana instead of a slice of cake, a gentle evening walk instead of hours glued to a screen, a smile shared with a loved one instead of lonely silence. These small choices are the true medicine. I know, change is never easy. You may still have a late dinner now and then, or eat something sweet at a party, or lie awake worrying some nights. But don't blame yourself. Remember, health is not built from a single perfect day, but from thousands of patient days. If today you walk for 10 minutes, tomorrow you may walk for 15. If today you eat an apple, tomorrow you may add a handful of nuts. If tonight you go to bed before 11, tomorrow you will wake up with more energy. Health is a journey, not a destination. And on this journey, never forget, you are not alone. Share it with your spouse, your children, your friends, or your community. Join a small group where people encourage each other. Tell your story, because who knows, your story may save someone else from despair. I want to end with a question. Do you want your years after 50 to be a slow decline or the most radiant season of your life? The answer is in your hands, in tonight's dinner, in tomorrow's walk, in each choice you make. My friends, if today's message has given you even a spark of hope, I invite you to begin tomorrow. You don't need something grand, just one small but steady habit, because 50, 60, or 70 is not the end of the road. It is a new chapter where you have the right to rewrite your own story of health. And if you found today's talk helpful, please leave me a comment below. What is the first thing you will change? An earlier dinner, a short walk, or simply one deeper breath? I would love to hear your story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because together we'll continue many more conversations about health, longevity, and the joy of living. Let us build a community where aging is no longer feared but embraced as a beautiful season of life. Thank you for listening. I wish you health, peace, and happiness in every single moment.